to MexCan.
Young perceptions of the world.
Hello guys, welcome back. It's been a while.
Hi everybody. It really has been. We're very excited to be back and making another episode.
Yeah, but we're back though. Because we have another episode recorded, but we're still gonna release that one. But I was just making another one, just so we can have more episodes. How are you, Jamin?
I'm good, thank you. I recently just started my second term of university for this year. Well, I guess the first one for 2021, but you know what I mean. And yeah, it's been good so far. I'm really enjoying my classes. How about you, Alan?
No, I'm good. I'm great. Because I feel like I'm kind of getting used to living this kind of life,
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expected this, but hopefully everyone outside is kind of feeling better, But yeah, I hope everyone outside, everyone listening to this podcast is feeling good. Because we have another episode. We have a new episode for you guys. And this time, what is it going to be about, Jamin?
Well, it's going to be related to university.
That actually sounds great. It is related to university, but what exactly? Come on, get us excited.
Well, we decided to talk kind of about the habits and routines that we have as university students, especially with all of the crazy changes this year.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah.
It doesn't really need to be applied to university people only, because at the end, habits, we all have habits, Even adults have habits, kids have habits. But the main idea was mine. I have to say that, Jamin, right? It was me who proposed the idea, but
yeah, of course, claim the awesome idea.
No, but I don't want to have the whole credits, because we all both are going to share our thoughts. But the thing is that what I find really great is that I forgot what I was gonna say, but the great thing about this is that we can all learn from others,
Definitely, especially since a lot of us are new to online school and everything, and just adjusting to a lifestyle that's based and revolves a lot more around technology in general. And as Alan said, as you said already, this doesn't have to be just for university. If you're in high school or if you're working online or just anything, we just wanted to sit down and kind of chat about what we've been doing to cope with these new lifestyle changes.
No, yeah, that's right. In personally, I've been having a lot of habits recently, and I've been changing them a lot and trying to think of what I'm doing this time, because it's hard, and it's hard for everyone. And I kind of picked this topic because I believe most of the audience that we have are young people, and might be useful for all of us, even for me that it's you and me, Jamin, speaking, but after this chat that we're gonna have, it might even help us a little bit, just to rethink the stuff that we're doing and consider the things that we do in our lives now,
Yeah, and give us some fresh perspectives to reflect on, because there's always room for improvement, as the old saying goes. So I'm very excited to hear about what you've been doing. And of course, Alan and I have already discussed some of these things before making this episode, being that we are, very close. Yeah. But I'm interested in hearing you talk just about those strategies and stuff in this podcast dedicated to that topic.
Yeah, of course. Okay, well, if you don't mind, I can start mentioning a little bit of how I track my habits and what these habits look like. So when we say university habits as young people, mostly young people, because there's adult people doing university too as well. But as a young person, I believe that we have a lot of energy, and we have a lot of stuff to apply that energy to, we can consume that energy that we have when we wake up in the morning and feel energetic, and so we can be productive, but sometimes we just don't realize that we like misusing that energy in other stuff that shouldn't be used for, because like in let's say like a month ago, I used to spend like a lot of time on my phone, and like the basics, like common stuff that people say, like you're wasting a lot of time on your phone. Yeah, but I mean it's true, and you got to look at it, because it's reality for some people, and it was a reality for me, and it's sometimes still the reality for me, because wasting time on your phone, let's say like spending time on social media, you might think, well, I mean, it's just like a few minutes that I'm looking at my screen. Yeah, but like sum up all those minutes that you're spending on your phone, it's gonna add up to a big amount of time,
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And it's something really common. Like, it's something people say a lot, like social media, yeah. And it gets something like boring. You get tired of hearing people saying the same thing, like social media, and you get to the point.
It's so bad. Stop going on it.
But you get to the point that I mean, I know about it. I'm tired of listening. Like hearing people saying that I'm not gonna even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because you take it for granted, something like that. I think that's a word, like take it for granted that people giving you that advice. Like don't spend too much time on social media. We take that for granted, but it's because we don't realize we're too engaged on our smartphones and digital stuff that we don't even realize. What do you think?
I totally agree. No, I definitely agree. And I have a computer, and when I have to write essays or anything like that, I'm doing my classes online. And I also have one class that's 3 hours every Wednesday. So that's like a lot of screen time. And you add that up with all of the time that I've spent on social media, watching TV, and it's insane. The hours that I spend on technology sometimes is ridiculous. Like, sometimes the screen time on my computer will say 10 hours, and I'm just like, 10 hours? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent 10 hours on my computer. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's really not hard to do when you wake up and you start your online classes, you watch videos, and you do everything. And one of the things that I struggle with is maintaining a lifestyle that doesn't revolve only around technology, because my eyes get very sore after a long period of time of looking at screens, and it's difficult.
It is. And that's only one thing, like the main thing in here that we'll be talking about is habits, and smartphones. Let's say like the amount of time you spend on your phone, it's just a little habit that you have, but it has a big impact on your how you develop, how you live your life, kind of thing, But there are many other habits that we have, and one that just comes to my mind is like having a calendar, I didn't used to have any calendar, like, or writing notes or writing tasks, like having a list, and that's
I definitely
and that's something else, kind of like what people tell you about smartphones. It's the same thing with lists and tasks. Well, here, like personally, I've been hearing that a lot, like, hey, write down all the stuff in here, all your duties, all your tasks, like all those kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And, I think you and I are slightly different, because for me, I've always been someone who loves journals. I've always loved big, like, notebooks where I could keep track of all that stuff. Yeah, I love, like, all that kind of stuff, stationery and everything. And every year for Christmas, I get a new calendar, for the year. So I'm pretty used to, like, jotting down everything. But this year just 2020, 2021, it's been a big change, and I've used those things more than ever. However, I actually decided to start tracking my schedule online, which might sound counterintuitive considering I just said that I spent a lot of time online or on technology.
Yeah.
But the reason I decided to switch to organizing my life online is because I find that it's a little bit easier to have flexibility. Like if a deadline changes, I can just move the little deadline assignment, like it's really helpful in
What are
that
you
way.
using?
So if you're looking for a calendar,
Yeah, what is it called?
that's online, it's called Notion.
Yeah, the one you told me.
Notion.
Yeah, I see other people
Yeah,
using that one. It seems to be really useful.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay, at least
that's great.
from what I've experienced.
And those are the tools that we need to be using, like for university, for your own life. It doesn't really need to be for university or school and stuff, but it does really help. In more this time, I believe this kind of situations, like COVID stuff, I'm not like a super believer and like a fade on such things, but like I do believe that we need to take advantage of the stuff that we are having in front of us,
Definitely.
face those things and realize that there are things in our lives that we need to improve. So
could you tell us what you're using to organize your life right now?
Well,
what are your tips and like anything that you can share?
Now that I said that, like I mentioned using a calendar, a month ago when all this stuff started, I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to use a calendar because I was thinking of this class. This was helping me to manage my time, and then I realized, well, perhaps having a calendar does work, and it was hard at the beginning because like I kept forgetting because it's a whole habit, you have the habit of not managing your time properly, so you need to get rid of that habit. But Rome wasn't built in one day, so you need to do it constantly, you need to be persistent.
Exactly.
So even though you're missing one thing or you forgot to write out something on your calendar or look at it one day, it doesn't matter, but you have the thought in your mind that you need to look at it the next time. And that's how it builds up, like it all ends up like working out. And that's the whole thing. So I personally use Google Calendar, which really works for me, and it's pretty simple. It allows you to, I use it a lot on my computer and on my phone, so I can have it at the same time. And whenever I need to know which class I'm going to take right now, I just go on Google Calendar and I see what class I have. And if I have like, I'm assigned one homework, I'm always on my computer, so I write it down right on the website of Calendar, because it has this little task side, so you can like write down anything that you want. So that's the one I use.
That's so interesting. I think I've looked at Google Calendar just because, it syncs up
not
so
all
well
people
between
love
all
it,
of
but
the devices.
not all people love it, but there's plenty of stuff. The thing is that you have the courage to find something that helps you, helps improve your life. That's the whole thing. Like you need to be brave, you need to be confident, and you need to say like, I want to improve, I want to feel better. That's something else. Feeling better.
Yeah.
It does help you feel
Totally
better.
agree. And like what you said about trying new things, you can definitely do like a combination of both, taking notes in like online and in a book as well. Like both really work. You could, do like your to-do list on paper and your calendar on a website like Notion or Google Calendar, whatever you prefer. Just do some digging, do some research, because as I said, I used to be like a hardcore paper and pen kind of fan, and while I do love writing things down in a physical book, I find that
absolutely.
Yeah, I find that it's a little bit more difficult when things change, because then you have to scratch out stuff, and I like things to look pretty, so I like using it digitally so I can change stuff.
Yeah, exactly, but that makes you feel good, like you kind of like being satisfied, by your own stuff, by your own skills, by learning something new, by doing something great for yourself. So I find that pretty good, that's all we gotta do. Now, it's your turn to kind of like mention a habit that you kind of like didn't have and now you have, or something like that,
Okay, yeah.
What
This
about
is
you,
something completely new to me. Alright, so I'm kind of excited to talk about this because I want to hear what Alan does because I really have no idea what he does. I've never actually asked him
we
this.
all live in a
I
different
think I've
world.
noticed. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give a little backstory of what I do and what I did before.
All right.
So when I first started university, I had a very big computer. And carrying that thing to class was honestly torture.
Yeah.
It was huge, thick, it died so quickly. So I finally decided to invest in a thinner computer, a MacBook Air. And I did that in my second year of university, but I never got around to actually using it because I ended up switching to online classes, which is silly now because everything's online. But at the time I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll have a chance to use this in person eventually. And by the way things are looking, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I got this computer and I started writing notes on Microsoft Word instead of in my notebook. And I found that when I did that, I didn't really remember the information as well as I used to when I used to actually write it down. So now I'm doing a combination of the both, okay?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm writing everything down on paper. I will sometimes take fancy notes with like my calligraphy pens. I'll try to make the notes pretty, not always. But yeah, it's something I like to do. And then afterwards, here is the second part. My new and improved system. I'll take a picture of the notes or I'll scan them using the Notes app on the iPhone. And it'll turn it into a PDF document, and then I will upload that to GoodNotes. That way I have everything sorted digitally. I don't have to worry about losing papers, and it's so nice. So that's my system. What do you do with notes, Alan? Because that really interests me.
That's a really good question, and I do believe this is kind of like closer to the university lifestyle. Because it involves a lot of notes, and mostly when you're in class. I mean, that applies for me because I take all the classes and we do have to make a lot of video calls. So it is needed to take notes, because otherwise you're going to have to download a whole class, and that's kind of heavy, doing that for each class that you take. It's just not a good method, I believe,
I agree,
so,
yeah, it gets to be a lot.
Yeah, so I do a lot of math and stuff like that. So I do handwriting, I grab one notebook and I do it like that. But I remember the last term that I did kind of thing, it was this year, a few months ago. Let's just say I had these other classes where I kind of started using OneNote, which is a Microsoft application, which I find really good because it allows you to introduce any kind of equations or a lot of stuff. It looks like a Word, it looks like, the application Word, Microsoft Word. It looks like Word, but it's just quicker and easier, and it's a lot quicker. So when I was in class, since I have two monitors, I can have in one monitor, the class, and the other one I can have my OneNote application. So I was just typing in whatever the teacher was saying that I consider important. And that's a really good application, but it takes a lot, as I said before, with the same thing of the calendar. It takes a lot to get rid of something that you didn't used to do and starting out a new habit, Let's say one habit is not doing something that you know you're capable of and that you want to add in your life, I consider that to be a habit, potential stuff. Let's call it like that. So the transition, from not having it to having that habit completely, it takes time. It's hard, but at the end it works out. So I use OneNote. I use my notebooks, physical notebooks, a lot. Mostly now because sometimes teachers go too fast, and I'm not really that that quick with a keyboard and looking at two screens at the same time.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard. It is hard. I mean, we all need to accept that. But even doing it in a notebook, you need to be looking down and then looking up again
Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, I mean it's crazy. So sometimes I'm like, okay, so I don't know if I have to pay attention to the board, or if I should like be writing down, you know. So it's kind of hard sometimes. So that's the time when it comes like to recordings, you know. Luckily now we're having online classes, so we have the options to record everything. So download it and you watch it later, and you can just like see it all over again. Pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm. I like that. And I have a question regarding OneNote. So
Yeah.
I kind of heard you mention something about this, but I wasn't entirely sure, so I want to ask you more in depth.
Yeah.
So you said that it's not too hard to write equations. Like, what if you want, like, I don't know, like the square root symbol or something? How does that come up on the screen? Because I've never used OneNote before.
Well, that's a really good question. So there are some shortcuts that are not really that shared, you know, by Microsoft and stuff. And you know, sometimes they show you like little tips, like, hey, you can click on this thing and it'll do that. So, but this time, no, it doesn't do that with shortcuts. So you need to kind of like learn from others. And
Okay.
I was taking this integral calculus last
Okay,
time,
yeah.
and I saw my teacher was doing that on Word. Like he was quickly like doing some shortcuts. I saw he was like
Cool.
backslash square root of something like SQRT, and it automatically showed the symbol. You know what I mean? So there are some
That's
shortcuts that
neat.
really work out. And since Microsoft is the same platform for both applications, Word and OneNote, it works the same. So you do the backslash SQRT and it'll show the symbol. But yeah, also you can click on the little icons, and I mean it's just that quick. It's not that hard.
That's
I mean,
very interesting.
it's good for doing something that like kind of like slow, like not going too fast, because you know what happens when you go too fast. Like you get all confused because you have to press a lot of buttons, you know.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's the whole thing about organizing your calendar. Now, I would like to mention, what about the time you go to bed, the time you wake up?
Ooh.
Found that
Okay,
pretty
my
important.
answer to this is definitely irregular because I do teach English online
Oh,
to
yeah.
Chinese
I mean, yeah.
students, so time difference is
Yeah.
crazy. In order to do a class, I typically need to get up between 4:30 to 5 a.m.
Oh, that is
Which
crazy.
is difficult. Yeah, because I've always, like, you know, I like waking up in the mornings, okay? But, like, come on, I'm a young person. I also like to stay up watching TV, you know? Who doesn't? So I'm kind of conflicted because I do like to stay up till, like, midnight or 11:30, you know, watching TV. But obviously, when I do that and I have to get up at 5 a.m., it's difficult, to say the least. And today, for example, I had a nap after I taught my classes in the morning, and that was good. But yesterday, I felt like a zombie. I was so
No, yeah.
tired. Yeah, and Alan recently sent me a video about the importance of
Yeah.
sleep, and you know, we all know sleep's important, but that guy in the video was really funny, and he did a really good job at explaining
Yeah, you're
some
right.
of the
Yeah.
things that I've overlooked.
It's a good
So,
thing you
by the
brought it
way,
up.
thank you for that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
But
great.
yeah.
It's a good video. You can find it. It's called like, title is
I think it's like why you're always tired or something like that.
yeah, I think that's what it's, yeah, why you're always tired. I mean, when I
Yeah.
watch it, I was like, what? And I'm not really used to watching that kind of stuff, like, you know, like self-improvement, yes, self-improvement like stuff, you know, in video, there's a lot of stuff like that. But when I saw that title, I was like, why am I always tired? Yeah,
It's
'cause
like, oh, that's so relatable.
yeah, it is quite relatable. But
Yeah.
it is true, and let's try to like, you know, use some of the information that this guy shows in the video, so we can say here, you know, because it's kind of true. You realize that it's not that hard to find out, you know. But it's so important to have sleep, and that's another thing that we hear a lot. Like, oh, you need to sleep 8 hours. and we again take it for granted. We just
Mm-hmm.
disobey it. We just stay up late on our phones, and we're just so disrupted. We disrupt our sleep, and it's just so bad. It's terrible. But I mean, when you respect your timing, when you go to bed early, let's say like at 11 or 10, 12, maybe, yeah, if you're working a lot, if you're like an owl working late, I
Yeah.
mean, that's okay, yeah. But one thing that he said is true is that when you look at your phone a lot at night, your brain thinks that it's daylight because your eyes
Mm-hmm.
are seeing light a lot, even when you set it to like the bright down, it's gonna still be bright, you're receiving light, and your brain's gonna think it's daylight, so it's not gonna produce any of the hormones that help you to go to bed. So when you turn
Exactly
off
right.
your screen and there's just black around you, then your body's gonna allow you to fall asleep. And it does take you a lot to fall asleep sometimes. Like it takes you 30 minutes, 45 minutes, up to an hour. I mean, it's normal, it's
Oh, it's
fine.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we all have to be patient. I know we all sometimes get anxious, but it's just really to feel better because it works out when you try one day, go to bed early, say around 10 or 11, sleep 8 hours, and then the next day wake up. You're gonna feel
Hmm.
energetic. You're gonna feel
I totally agree.
powerful. Yeah, you're gonna be paying attention to everything around you. You're gonna feel so great. Plus, it adds up when you have a good breakfast on time again. When you when you just comply with your responsibilities, you're gonna feel great. That's how I've been feeling
Hmm.
like these days lately.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean it's
Do you
great.
feel like you're mentally more like positive as
Exactly.
well
Yeah.
and just overall happier?
Yeah. Yeah, and that should be at
Great.
least on weekdays, because if you
Yeah.
like weekends, it's fine. I mean,
Oh
we all
yeah.
sometimes kind of like exceed. It's fine. I mean, it's normal. Sometimes you can just like stay up too late watching a movie or something, or having a
Hmm.
party or something. It's totally normal. But it tends to be bad, or I mean, not tends. Like it is bad when you have it as a habit.
Yeah, like every single night. And one thing is like my great auntie, for example, she is what you would definitely consider a night owl. She is someone who will go to bed at like 2 in the
Wow.
morning
Yeah.
and wake up around noon, which is like so interesting because she's like 75 years old, around that age, and I just find it so funny because she's like, nope, I've never been a morning person. I hate waking up early. And I
Yeah.
mean, of course, if you are in the position to be like a complete night owl, do what you want just as long as you are getting enough sleep. Like if you don't have to wake up,
Yeah. Exactly.
like
Yeah.
it depends on your schedule, like it doesn't matter
Yes.
if you do go to bed at like different hours, just as long as you are getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
For me personally, as a student, I definitely cannot maintain my great auntie's schedule. I have to go to bed kind of early and
Yeah.
wake up early if I want to be a human and not a zombie.
Oh, yeah,
But I
that's
really
true.
like hearing about all of this, like all of these facts, because it really does motivate me to go to bed early.
Yeah.
And I also want to say thank you, Alan, for that as well, because I found that in the past few days, you and I have kind of been like supporting each other to get more sleep.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
like
Yeah, that's
we'll
another
like
thing.
chat, have
Having
a
people
phone
around
call,
you,
and
having having people around you that really um support you. Um, it's just it's important. I mean, it's a good point
yeah,
to have people around you. If you have people, friends, family that are supporting you, that are surrounding you with good thoughts, with good feelings. And I'm not saying this to be cheesy, but what happens when you get along with someone? It's because the other one is getting along with you too. It's having a good vibe. That's how some people call it. It's treating you well. So when that kind of people, you get surrounded by that kind of people, it's just you're gonna feel good. So
definitely.
that's gonna be the people who is going to support you. is going to like give you a lot of, like, hey, you can do this. Hey, yeah, you keep going. You do great. So yeah, that's another point. If you have people around you who loves you, who support you, who's always like listening to you, and it's gonna help you a lot. So yeah,
surround yourself with people
exactly,
who are your number one fans. And obviously, when I say surround yourself, it doesn't have to be physically because of everything. Like,
yeah, I know.
I'm not with Alan.
Yeah.
I'm not with you in person right now, obviously, which makes me, of course, sad. But
Yeah.
just hearing you, like, when I say, oh, I have a test, and you're like, you can do this. Like, I know you can. Like, I'm sending you lots of, like, good energy. And it just really makes me happy. And honestly, it gives me, like, a boost of, like, energy and just like good luck. Like, it makes me feel like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good thing to mention when our
That's
morale gets kind of low and we feel sad.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Find
it happens
people who can
too.
motivate you.
Yeah, it happens too. It's okay to feel bad sometimes. I mean,
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it happens.
yeah,
sadly.
it happens a lot. Yeah, sadly, we all get sad, but it's part of life. If we didn't get
The
sad, we
quote of the
wouldn't notice
year,
the
yeah.
stuff that we do bad. It wouldn't be life. So, if you ever get sad, I mean, you just gotta face it and acknowledge what's going on. Let the feeling flow. I mean, it's okay, yeah, but you always need to be looking ahead. Finding a way out, finding how to solve something that is bothering you, so you can feel better the next time. So,
And I also want to say something that
Yeah.
also has been kind of helping me, and I don't know if this makes me sound like really weird or whatever, but okay, I was never the type of person who like did my schoolwork in public places. Like, I mean, I wish I was. It's because those people were always so cool. People who would like bring their computers to like Starbucks and just like work. I mean, I've tried to do that, which is always cool.
that doesn't need
But
to be done.
even though I've never been that kind of person, what I've been really enjoying lately, which has really helped my productivity, is just listening to like study playlists. Like, Alan, you have a really good playlist that I've been loving. Like, I listen to that a lot when I was
Lo-fi
studying
beats.
for finals. Yeah,
I mean, good.
exactly.
Yeah, music's
And
good.
yeah, and another thing too is like sometimes I will search up like coffee shop vibe background music, and it's just like you can hear like fake voices, I guess, in the background, just like, I don't know, to me it just kind of has been helping me
Exactly, yeah.
when I'm in my room
It
for a
kinda
long
motivates
period
you,
of
right?
time. So yeah. What did you say? Sorry?
Kind of motivates you.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm just hearing movement, and it kind of helps me feel like I'm not just in my room, which is good when I sit on the same chair for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything else that you found to help you?
Well, I mean, exercise. Yeah.
Definitely. That's a great one to mention.
Don't be harsh on yourself. You need to do exercise, man. And by exercise, don't think of going outside and doing a lot of weights. No, your body, your body's made to move. You need to move your muscles. Every 30 minutes. Just get up from your bed or your chair if you're sitting down, and move. Walk a little bit. Get some sun. It's natural. It's necessary for your body to do that stuff, and that's kind of the thing that I did not understand months ago when all this stuff started. Because like, I would spend a lot of time in my room looking at a screen and spend a lot of time studying, but actually it was not working out. I was not seeing any result, and I noticed that I was not giving my body what it needed. You need to go out. You need to be used some way, not only in your brain, you're not only thinking, but you need to be moving. At least go outside, get some sunlight is good, and yeah, eat healthy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, now I've been being more constant with my exercising. I've been going outside with my dogs, been trying a lot of different things. I mean, I know for some people it might not be easy to try new things, but don't get stressed, Just think of the things that you can do in your house. Think of the stuff that you can try out. You have a whole body. What can you do with it? That motivates you, that helps you to feel better, Just give yourself
that.
one day of exercising. Allow yourself to try one exercise, whatever you want to do. Yoga or
Yoga,
run,
yes,
go for a run,
love
walk,
it.
stretch out. I mean, whatever you can do with your body, just try out for one day. I'm pretty sure the next day you're gonna feel better. So
I
yeah.
agree. That's awesome advice. My sister and I, we sometimes walk to this pond that's near our house. It's about a half an hour walk. It's frozen now, of course, but it's such a nice place to just go just for some exercise. And other times, my mom and my sister and I, we try to do yoga together in the mornings, which is amazing. I love doing some form of movement in the morning.
Yes, babe.
Yeah.
So what about you? You have any other tip?
I think we covered the basics. Like, as you said, like, in the beginning, like, I'm not new exactly to online school. I did online school before, and I have to say that I definitely know that when I did online school in high school, my health definitely went down. I was feeling really bad
for a
about
lot
the
of
way
people,
I was looking and mentally, and I found that like in the fall when this new school year started, I was feeling kind of like what I did in high school, and a lot of times I still feel really down, and I miss seeing you so much, which definitely is hard. But definitely like incorporating all of those things that we've talked about, like exercise has definitely been really good, and I'm still working on the whole sleeping thing.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's
Alan
fine.
needs to motivate me. He needs to tell me go to bed. That's why I've also been like, this is one thing that I've been doing for a long time, is I will turn my phone on airplane mode, and then I will just turn it off, and I will put my phone on the other side of the room and have my alarm, so I'm forced to get up. Otherwise, I would probably hit snooze.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we gotta be really hard on ourselves, but also we gotta be really easy on ourselves. I know it sounds really...
don't be mean to yourself.
Yeah, don't be mean to yourself. And by this, I mean take breaks, Take a break. Do something that you like. If you like watching a movie, watch it if necessary. I mean, if you know you have a lot of stuff to do, if you just keep pressuring yourself, you're just gonna end up bad, But you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta give yourself some time to realize that life is not only about being forced to do something, being attached to something that is kind of like slavery, because it has happened to me. I've been so it's like so engaged on homework and on studying, in my it feels like walls are just getting closer to my head, and I'm not allowed to go out from those walls. But then I realized, Alan, it's not the only thing. Stop. Do something that you like. Then I grab my guitar. If I want to play my guitar, I just play it. Then I realize I don't feel like playing my guitar. Okay, I'll just leave it there. Then I do something. Exactly. When I realize I'm just wasting my time, and I come back to my homework, I realize it was just some stupid thing that I wanted to release in that little time, Like I was feeling so stressed in a moment of time that I wanted to release it, and I released it just by playing 1 minute of my guitar. When I go back to my homework, I feel better. Yeah, exactly. So take breaks. It's fine. But once you're done with your break, go back to what you were doing. Do not stay.
I think that's awesome.
In a break, because that's something else. So
and one thing that helps me, like, during my breaks too, like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, like, I have to write an essay, my hands are sore, I don't want to do this, and I love it when you're just like, just take a breath, get up, go walk around the house or whatever, just breathe, or like you'll call me sometimes and just be like, hi, like you'll just be like quickly like, oh, hi, I'm just like gonna quickly say hi, and then we go back to our work. Like, it's just nice to have your support and everything.
Yes,
so yeah. I love you a lot, so thank you.
I love you too. So yeah, it's all about that, you know? And we're not trying to be perfect. Like, not at all.
No, goodness,
We're gonna keep
no.
having bad habits. It's part of human being. Bad
Yeah.
habits, but we need to try to have as many good habits as we can. That's the whole thing about.
Yeah, and I think it's good to like hear what mistakes other people have made, because all of the things that I've talked about, at least for me, I'm still making those mistakes. Like, I'm still not getting great sleep. I'm still not exercising as much as I want to. I'm still not as organized, but those are the things that like I do know can help me, and when I do them, I feel better.
Yeah, and it's not that bad to make the same mistakes, but it's not good when those mistakes get worse, you know? But yeah, great. I think we got it all.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. And, you know, if you have any tips or anything, please let us know.
Yeah.
You know, we're always learning.
Exactly, yeah. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. It's been quite a long time, but hopefully this episode
Nice to be back.
we help us, you know, you and me, Jamin, to start off our year. We hoping we're gonna have more episodes. Of course, we're gonna have more episodes. Yeah, not hoping, like.
Yes, that's a must. 2021 goals.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, guys, that was it.
Thank you.
We're seeing
you so
you on our
much.
social media.
Check us out, MexCan.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you.